Hi everyone, I'm back from my vacation and just finished with the luggage and everything, and now I just want to create something. I only took with me some coloring book with mandalas, and now I'm just itching to do something, and I've bought new napkins. I really like them, so what I'm going to do is create some kind of background and take this part of the paper napkin. So I'm in a springy mood, and let's see, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to take, I've got all kinds of blues and greens that I'm going to use, and I'm thinking of doing a sponge background. I haven't done a sponge background in a while, so, and it's fun and it's free in making it, no rules, just dabbing it on the paper and having fun. And I'm using some acrylics, very cheap ones that I found a while ago in my cheap store, and they are not that great, so, but they are good for this kind of stuff, so I don't care. I'm always using them just for smearing and scraping paint on paper. So let's see, I'll take sorry, this one also. Yeah, so just a sponge. I've taken apart from a larger one, really doesn't matter. I bought this in the cheap store because it had a lot of holes in it, so more texture on my page. And I'm just going to start by dabbing, and I will need a lot more paint than I've put on my plate here. That's the only problem with the sponge technique. The sponge is absorbing a lot of paint, so you need to take that into consideration. Switching to another color, and as I said, I'm just playing around. I don't really care. I didn't gesso my page. This is directly on mixed media paper in my mixed media notebook, or art journal for that matter. I'm also twisting, as I dab it, I'm twisting the sponge so the pattern will be more interesting. And if you feel that something is not quite to your satisfaction, just add and create more layers. And if that doesn't work, then just wait for it to dry and then add another layer. So I want a little bit more of the lighter color, so I'm going to add this. I would like a little bit more light on the top. No reason, just that's what I'm aiming for right now. And now I'm adding a little bit of the turquoise, the darker turquoise, to my background, again just because I want just a little bit, a little bit more interest in my page. So I'm going to now give it a time to dry, and I'll be back. I'm back. So This is dry, and I was about to start with the napkin to take this part out, and then I remembered a while ago I bought this kind of, this is a 12 by 12, but as you can see, this is some kind of die cut, and I really like to put this on the background, like I think what it's called, I think it's trellis, I'm not sure, but you probably know what I mean. So I'm going to use this on my background, only I want it a little bit lighter and not exactly this in this color. So I'm going to dab it again with a sponge, but I'm going to do it with gesso. I thought about using acrylic white paint, but I prefer to use the gesso. It's more a chalky finish. So let's see, I'm going to take this, I'll do it on top of this, and dabbing the same sponge, and I don't care if the paint is still wet here, because it will just give a little bit, if it will react with the gesso, it will just give a variation to the dabbing I'm doing here, because and I'm doing it because I want to tone down this olive green I've got on this paper. So just dabbing all over, and in some places I've got a little bit of the greens and blues that I've used on the background because they are still on this sponge. And I need a little bit more gesso. Now, let's see how does it work. Yeah, that's a little bit better than what the green, the olive green I've got here, and I'm just going to add a little bit more white to make it pop up more. I'm not doing this section because it won't be on my page. So just adding more of the gesso in several places before I'm going to glue this down to my page. Of course I need it to dry first, but there it is. Moving this away, let's see if it works. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I was aiming for, so good for me. Now I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to glue this down and come back with the paper napkin. I'll be back. I'm back. So I've put down just white glue all over my page, very thin layer, and glued this down. So now I've got also like a sealer for my first layer of paint, and I want to give this trellis for because I don't know a better word for it or the right word. I want more definition and more dimensionality for this, so I'm going to use now, this is a brush marker by Winsor & Newton and Ocean Teal, and I'm going to use this side that is like a brush and just try to add like shadowing for in several places, and you can hardly see it, so I'm thinking maybe I need something darker let's see, I've got something from the cheap store, but again, like a brush. So let's see how does this work. Okay, so, and I can also smear it because I've got the glue underneath that is sealing my first layer, but I don't really need to smear, just wanted to see how it would look if I'm doing it. So I'm just going in several places and adding like a shadow to give it more definition. And of course I'm always coming up with this kind of stuff that will take me a lot of time, but I think it's worth it. So I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll be back when I'm finished, and hopefully then we'll go to the next part of gluing down the napkin. I'm back. So I really like what it's done to my page, adding the lines here to this die cut. And now I'm going to take out the piece of the napkin that I want to use. Now I've separated the two plies, the two white layers from the back of the napkin, and I'm going to use a fine paintbrush with water, and I'm just going over where I want to tear my napkin. And gently I'm going to separate it like so. And now let's see. Well, I'm in luck. It's almost at the size I need. I'm just going to trim a little bit here. White glue, and I'm going to take a soft brush just plain white glue, and let's see. Placing it gently. And now I'm going over on top with glue and just slide. Don't drag the paper napkin. And I'm doing it slowly, and I want from inside outside. I want to take out air bubbles if there are. Is I've got a little bit of excess here. When it's dry I will trim it, and yeah, now I'm thinking that I can add a little bit more of the napkin here to the sides. And let's see, where did I put my paintbrush with the water? Here it is, in front of my eyes, and I can't see it. Okay, again I'm taking water, and let's see what I can take out The thing about this kind of using a paper napkin and building it into something else is to watch for the pattern and not repeat it. If I will just glue down the same flower I have here, it will be horrible to me, at least. So you need to watch for the pattern and take out pieces that would work for you. And my hands are kind of sticky, so it's giving me trouble right now. So I took this piece and I'm going to just put it here. Now I am going to wash my hands because, as I said, they are sticky, and I'm going to come back with other pieces and glue them down. I'll be back. I'm back. So kept adding little pieces of the napkin to my page, and whatever was left went into one of my junk journals. Here you can see just put it here on my page. Excess paint, just so you will see the excess paint from my background went to the notebook with excess paint. So everything got used. Now for the finale of this piece, I took a magazine page and cut these two shapes out of it and made a stencil. I want to do some kind of rays on sun rays on my page, and for that I took this is Deco Art Luscious Lemon. I've put it here. I'm going to add a little bit of water just to in hopes that it would be a little bit more transparent when I'm going to dab it on my page. And let's see. So I'm taking a makeup sponge and I'm placing my made stencil here. Let's see, something like that. And dabbing on my page until it disappears. This is intentional. I don't want the same amount of paint here that I have here. I want it like to fade away towards the bottom. So I will add a little bit more here, but this is it. Here I want it to fade. So I'm moving my stencil to another place now, like this, and doing the same thing again. And I'm not loading it, just letting it fade. And again, let's see. The only difficulty about this kind of stencil, it's not transparent, so it's a little bit difficult to see where I'm placing it. But for one job, for one project, it's quite good. I'll probably save it, but it can be also for only this project, and you can discard it when you're finished with it. It doesn't have to be forever. It's just a magazine page. And just a little bit more here. This is it, that's my page, and I think I'll just dab a little bit here and here randomly, just to make it seem like it's also on my flowers and not stopping at the flowers. So yeah, this is it, that's my page. I hope it gave you some ideas. I hope you will try this kind of thing, and thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.